Welcome to the first ever edition of Turn 200's Track Record here. My name is Tommy Cook. We've got the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson alongside. This is a new endeavor for us here today, and going to be an interesting one as well. This is a vodcast, which is new territory for us. We've kind of had a podcast before about actual NASCAR, but not ever about our sim racing endeavors. So this will be interesting to see what the response is going to be today. But Matt Williamson's in the corner. I could not figure out why my camera is not working, so we'll get that fixed for next time. But Matt Williamson, welcome in. What are we doing today?
Well, we are doing something new. We are at Wild West Motorsports Park, and we are running the NASCAR trucks. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown here on the track. It's a 4-turn, 1.5 mile dirt road course. It is in Nevada. It does not function anymore, but today we are using it, and we are putting the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series trucks, current day, on this racetrack. The kind of thing that we're trying to go for is getting lap times in, as you see DJ Crampton just absolutely launch it off of one of the jumps. We're trying to get car and track combos that are not that do not have lap times registered on Sim Racer Hub, that is, and try and get some track records here for the folks that are on Turn 200. So we're going to do that, but we're also going to do a vodcast, do an interview, talk about some other things going on in the sim racing world as well as the racing world sometimes as well. And we're just going to have a little fun with it, see how it goes.
So let's kick it off here with a week recap, as we've got 14 drivers registered for this session trying to put a time down. Right now it's James Watson with the top time. James Watson, new track record! I was dared to do that, and I'm going to be doing that a lot here tonight. So, but the week in review, if you will, to start things off here on Turn 200. Of course, 7 days ago, we had our first road course with this new truck package that we are totally abusing today at a different style of road course. But it's Sonoma for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Race was dynamic. Race was interesting. The expected players up front, but one by one, they sort of just fell. And we ended up with Andrew Schulte taking another road course win.
Yeah, we certainly did, and of course Schulte was caught up in the first lap, really, what was it, like the fourth turn incident with Scott Patton, and the two of them were kind of the two of the big favorites going into the night, and after they had that big incident, we were a little worried that they may not make their way up to fighting for the lead any longer, but for one of them it worked out. That would be Andrew Schulte, who ended up winning, but for Scott Patton it did not end very well for him. And I think that the stage break definitely helped them in that endeavor.
Schulte had enough pace. I think maybe he could have fought his way up there if there were no stage break, but I don't know. At least back to the podium. But Riley Tilton had such good pace. I think he would have won that race if there was no stage break. But he gets a career-best second-place finish. Johnny Hamby ended his second-place streak with a third-place finish instead of a win. Not the direction we were expecting that to happen, but a win is coming for Johnny Hamby here sooner rather than later. We wrap all the way around. There was no Sunday action. Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series, round number 2 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Of course, we had a night race before the package flopped over at Charlotte with the Max V boys. And that was pretty entertaining, pack style, but that was a cool track. Last time we had a hot Charlotte Motor Speedway. That race, to be frank, it kind of sucked. This one was good. This one was very, very good. New package and the oval refresh working in tandem very well.
Yeah, we talked about that on the broadcast quite a bit, and it's really promising. It's kind of like what the Cup Series went through in real life, trying to go from the Gen 6 to the next Gen 7 car, trying to make those 1.5-mile tracks, race a lot better, give the drivers more opportunities to make passes with multiple lanes working. iRacing kind of had to do that with the Truck Series, and it seems to have worked out well so far, at least. At Charlotte, it worked wonders. There were drivers John Kay loves to rip the top, like he said in his post-race interview. He was able to do that. He was also able to work the bottom, able to work the middle. And I think it helps out, especially in the trucks, the drivers that feel like when grip is not to be had necessarily, they do better. I feel like the truck kind of evened the playing field a little bit. They were able to kind of hold it wide open in there for at least the first 10 laps, and it was just very one lane. But, yeah, the refresh for the truck and the oval refresh that happened as well has really opened up the opportunities for drivers that race in truck leagues across the service here.
Mile and a halves are back, baby. That's the long story short. Looking forward to more of those as they roll in and out. And rain last night for the first time. Jesus God. ASRL Mount Panorama. I will say, credit to the drivers. It went better than it could have, and way better than I was expecting. But still, carnage galore last night at the big track.
Yeah, I mean, the starts of both of those races were pretty wild, and of course there were incidents throughout the night as well. But I liked what Corey and Rick and the folks at ASRL did with it. They didn't just make it pour on the racetrack the whole time. They had rain coming in, and then it stopped for a while. The track got to dry out a little bit, but was still wet. I think they handled their first rain race in the series very, very well. I thought that was well done. But, yeah, the drivers, there were a couple of pretty big incidents in those first laps. Namely, I think it was Brian Deese and I can't remember who the other party was in the dash race, but it was a track blocker.
Vroman.
Steve Vroman, yes. The GT4 cars really had to navigate around a couple cars that were kind of stopped in the middle of the racetrack. So that was a pretty hairy situation. But other than that, you're right. The drivers did very well, and it was fun to watch.
So that was the week in the past. We look ahead as we pick up another week. Of course, Max V at Iowa tonight. Short track racing. It'll be our first short track race with the new truck package. And I'm sure we'll talk about it soon, but because I've got motorsports slotted in, actual motorsports talk at the end of the night. But man, Iowa NASCAR weekend already a disappointment, and there's no laps even turned. So, but we've got based Iowa on the stream tonight with Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series, and last season's finish was one of my favorite moments on the channel last year. So, looking forward to that. PMR is back. Mission R Challenge at Laguna Seca. I ran the Thursday top split today. First of all, great to see 15 people, I think, on a Thursday top split.
Nice.
Fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, I finished second to last. I was running in the top 10, though, and I wiped myself out twice. And really, it was my own negligence. But that was a pretty fun track for that car. So very excited to get PMR back in the mix here on Sunday afternoon. Will you be here for that one? I can't remember.
I may be or I may not be. It's kind of up in the air. I have some plans in the morning, and it just depends on when I'm able to wrap those up. So, hoping to be there because PMR at Laguna Seca should be a lot of fun. But I don't know. We'll see. Undetermined yet.
Well, we know we'll be here for Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series, the Kosher Brand Pickle 190. I love saying that. At Richmond Raceway. If you had to press me, Paul Ellison named that race. Not 100% sure, though. It wouldn't surprise me.
Paul Ellison name.
Does Paul Ellison love pickles? Is that the... Okay.
Somewhere. Also, I feel like we have to talk about the name. I think we have to talk about the name from this last race as well.
Oh, yes.
Because it was sponsored by Eric Breeding, who has been wronged in the worst of ways.
Yeah, we didn't really get into the lore on that, did we?
We did not. We did not during the broadcast, but the Chiquita Banana paint scheme got absolutely robbed in the tournament. So the drivers are blind. They obviously don't know what they're looking at, not voting for the Chiquita Banana. And so we had to name that race after that.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Paint scheme of the year right now is, oh, my God, Carson Klingelhofer just went tumbling. I'll tell you this much. That fighting driver blindness paint scheme that Eric's Breeding ran on Tuesday night looked pretty damn good. It may get my vote at the end of the season, but Corey Rutherford has pumped out some fantastic paint schemes already across the entire work in progress team. Between him and Ryan Dye alone, they have multiple contenders to take that best paint scheme title at the end of the season. We'll have to see.
We didn't really get to see Ryan's too much because unfortunately he was out of the race early. But
yeah,
we called it kind of the negative Buffalo Wild Wings, the black and white Buffalo Wild Wings paint scheme was looking pretty darn good. It was nice and clean, and I love a nice, simple, clean paint scheme, and that certainly fit the bill for that one. So, but you're right. All of the drivers of the Venom Truck Series, pretty much, they are serious about their paints, and looking forward to what everybody has coming up in store for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so Venom at Richmond on Tuesday night. Wednesday night is the championship night, the final 2 races of the season for the ASRL Sports Car Championship. That's at the Daytona Moto layouts. And we'll talk to Hunter Engraff, who's not in the championship hunt for the season, but he'll be in it to win it the last 2 races of the season. We'll talk to him about Daytona Moto here momentarily. Also a big night, not on the channel, unless I guess you want it to be, but we'll make that decision later. Matt Williamson running for a championship on Monday night in... people keep asking us why we don't have a Monday night league right now. Matt and I are racing in a super speedway league. Matt has made the championship 4 and is going for it all on Monday night.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Obviously we started broadcasting. We had run a league with many of the drivers that are in the current super speedway league we are in. It's the ASR Tour Super Speedway League, and many of those drivers raced in a previous league that we were also in, and I got the opportunity to race for a championship, made it to the Final Four the last time I ran with him. It was a year and a half, maybe a couple years ago at this point. So I'm very excited to be back because I was not able to get that one wrapped up. I'm really hoping we can make this one happen, but I have yet to capture a win this season, and I think it's probably going to take a win to win that. So, it's going to be tough, but looking forward to it. I do think that it's been determined that Daytona night is going to be the track selection. So, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I felt like maybe a bumpy Daytona or a Talladega would be my best bets. But doing a night race as a championship race is pretty cool too. So, looking forward to it. I'm leaning towards probably not streaming it, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't hold your breath on that.
Well, we'll make the decision ultimately later, but probably a lot of expletives in that stream if things start to go south.
Definitely.
So right now we got 19 drivers out on the track. Some notable names here in the world of Turn 200 as well. Ashton Crowder just joined us out on track, and he is now second quickest. Hunter Engrav is here. He'll be in booth 200 around the turn here. TJ Crampton had the track record until just now. James Watson, new track record with a 54.767. We're going to take a very quick little break here. When we come back, we'll have Hunter Engrav in booth 200, back with the track record.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
farther back in the pack, not going to affect the leaders.
Hunter Engrav out of turn number 4 is a winner with the Venom Truck Series. Engrav takes Charlotte. Back with the track record, the man of the hour himself, our very first guest here on the vodcast. Welcome in the winningest driver in turn 200. It is Hunter Engrav. And as I said on Tuesday, he's a winner with the Venom Truck Series. Gotta love it when old habits pop up at the wrong time. But nonetheless, you won on Tuesday nights. Another big win for you here on the channel. Congratulations on your first Venom victory.
Thank you very much, sir.
What was the party like? Who was on the guest list? What was the menu? You know, what did it look like in the wrap up after the victory?
Basically pretty boring. I had some grapes and I went to bed. Pretty boring, basically, for the most part. Ryan was messaging me crap, but that was basically it.
So I went back. I didn't get through all of it. I got about halfway through the race with the State Line Sim Racing VOD from the Rocket Man at Daytona, and I didn't hear any jaw jacking. Did that come later? Where did this rivalry start between you and our beloved Ryan Dye?
I think it was probably I forgot what it's called. It's like when we did the off-roading trucks around like VIR and Laguna Seca. He thought it was funny to turn me in one race. I tried to turn him back, and he started to kind of go back and forth a little bit. So that's just kind of where we talked. And when I tried to compliment him, then he said "screw me." So it was just kind of fun from there on to kind of poke each other and everything. So and he's definitely a good, cool dude to always talk crap to. When you always think you get him, he always one-ups you.
Yeah, he's full of that. Matt and I have gotten pretty familiar with Ryan Dye over the last. God, it's almost been 2 years now since we've had Venom here on Turn 200, which is wild. But yeah, Matt, what are your favorite memories of Ryan Dye that we can embarrass him with for Hunter?
My favorite memories of Ryan Dye. There's
you don't have to answer. I know there's too many.
There's too many to count. I know that. I mean, we can always rib him for his. Couple of on-track seasons have been a little lackluster, but that would be a little mean, I feel like. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say here. I'm not gonna let any cats out of the bag.
Well, then the floor is yours here. What's your burning question here for Hunter Engrav now that we're not tied up in a particular race or event?
I'm curious what, that you've tried all kinds of different cars. You're always down to race the truck, sports cars, open wheel cars, anything that you can kind of get your hands on. I mean, what was it that really got you into iRacing in the first place? Like, was there one particular thing that you were like, man, I want to get iRacing so I can do this car because that looks like a lot of fun? What is your favorite now that you've been on it for a while?
I started iRacing I think like 7 years ago now. I was under the age when technically you were supposed to start iRacing. I would think I was 11, and I just thought it was a game back then and everything. So I was like, oh cool. I didn't have no steering wheel, nothing. I drove with a mouse for the first few years on iRacing, and I had no clue. I had no clue at all. So it was a learning curve, but yeah, eventually when I figured out what actually the license system was, then I started doing more. I did ovals first, because that's all I knew back then and everything. So I thought I'd just try to drive the cup cars was the kind of the goal. And after that I tried road course, and I was god awful for a long time. I think I dropped almost down to like 200 iRacing because I was just horrible at it. And eventually just kept practicing and I got better. And yeah, I kind of just ended up here, just keep trying new stuff. And yeah, I forgot the other second part of the question there, Matt. Sorry.
What's your favorite now, or do you even have a favorite? Because I know you're racing all kinds of stuff, throughout the week and throughout the months. I mean, do you even have kind of a favorite car to go to now?
I got I still have to say the IndyCar is my favorite. I love it. I'm not good at it, but I always love it. It's a fun car. Every week it handles different for sure.
And that was your pipeline to us here on Turn 200 as well. RL Schaefer's IndyCar series. We took over their B series from Raceverse, the RAL Daredevil series originally, but you didn't start in Daredevil at all, I don't think, until we actually took over the Daredevil series for season 3 of competition. So that was your first real exposure here on Turn 200, maybe a start here or there and something else. But I think Daredevil is what kicked it off for you. You started winning in Daredevil, of course, right away. With, I think, Lime Rock Park was your first win in the Daredevil series, and that may have been the second race that season as well. So, I mean, you came in like a house on fire, and haven't really cooled off at all since.
Yeah, that car was definitely it was a fun car to drive. I was debating to do the second season of it, but I was just trying to focus more on the Indy cars. And then I'm like, well, they're moving over. I'll just try it. If I fail, I fail, I guess. But no, I knew the road courses were going to be the better spot for me. And Lime Rock, I probably put the most practice in I've ever done. And it was good to get that first win, and it kind of felt like the pressure was off, and it just felt a lot better to know that, okay, I have a chance to compete for a win. And yeah, it kind of just set off from there. And then I know my first year I did some dumb things. I said some dumb things I still regret to this day. And I apologize for that. But yeah, no, I've also met a lot of amazing people in the Daredevil series, and it's been really cool. And that's always going to be my stepping stone where I've gotten a lot faster for sure.
You've won with Daredevil. You've won exhibition races here in the truck before. You're now winning with the Venom Truck Series. You just mopped the floor with all the series regulars in the PMR the last few weeks of the season as well. I mean, I don't know what else really there is to accomplish other than getting a Truck 200 win and I guess Formula Super Series if that is on your docket as well.
Yeah, absolutely they are. I've took a lot more time to figure out the trucks, to know that tires are very important. So hopefully when Truck 200 comes back around, I can do a lot better this season. And Super Formula, it's hard. There's a lot of very fast guys. Haven't touched cars since, but I just want to try to get a few more podiums again this year. My goal is to hopefully win one, but I just know there's really fast guys, and some of them that are just ridiculously fast on open wheel cars.
Well, so I just saw somebody flip ass over tea kettle in turn number 1 there, and is still up in the catch fence. Oh my God, who is that?
That is Cole Wilson. I've been watching him this whole time. He's been up in the
Lord.
fence.
Anyway, so let's do some rapid fire here to close out this interview. We appreciate your time here today. If salary weren't an issue, what would you say your dream job in life would be?
Work the street corner, I guess.
You think you'd be good at that?
I'm young enough still. I think I can maybe pull it off.
Oh God. Well, that's the rapid fire is gonna have to stop there because I don't know how to follow that up. Oh my God. Anyway,
He's killed me. I'm dead.
yeah, I don't know how to follow that up. That was a stumper, I guess. What do you do away from the sim in your free time? Don't say the street corner again, please. Anything but that.
Well, basically, I do a lot of driving around still. I drive semi truck as a job, and yeah, I drive my parents around everywhere. So I basically still drive everywhere I can go.
That sounds a lot like my life as well. Driving everywhere for work, driving for fun, driving to see people. Nothing is close. I live in a cornfield. So,
Same
yeah.
here.
Well, I think that's about going to have to do it because I don't know how to follow that up. Matt, do you have anything you want to ask to...
That's the greatest clip of all time right there. That's an all-timer.
Do you have anything else you want to say to close up shop here, Matt?
Well, let's not tell the government if you do end up getting your dream job. I think that's first and foremost. But second of all, I'm looking forward to your run here on Tuesdays. You got to win this week. I'm looking forward to seeing how you fare throughout the rest of the season. It is a much longer season than normal for the Venom Truck Series. I think you're somebody that's going to shake things up quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to that. What are your expectations?
Yeah, I didn't have a lot coming in, but after the first win, I'm like, okay, at least I can play with the fast boys now. So goal basically now is just try to beat everyone every single week and try to win the championship. I know consistency is going to be key, and yeah, I know there's a lot of very fast guys. There's some strong tracks coming up very soon. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, just trying to go for the championship, I guess.
Last thing I've got for you, ASRL next week at Daytona Moto. I know you're not in it for the title. You're in it for a couple of wins. Probably going to try and play some team games to get Kevin Bonomi a championship as well, because that championship is super duper tight. Have you run the Moto layout before, and what are your expectations to close up the season there?
I have never run the Moto version yet, so I'll be very interested. And might be trying a different car that week. Might just try it because points don't really matter much to me. So I guess that might be kind of fun. And yeah, I'm not gonna try to really screw up much of the championship. I don't think that'd be 100% right. If Kevin's fast enough that he can win, Kevin's fast enough that he can win. But I'm not gonna try to wreck somebody else's championship just to try to help my teammate out. I don't think that's 100% right to do. So just gonna try to keep it clean and respect everybody, and still try to do the sweep next week.
Well, that's very noble. Yeah, Daytona Moto should be interesting. Good luck to Kevin Bonomi, and I guess to Matt Schlosser as well. I don't know, you've got some kind of alliance going on there, but best of luck to you as well. Not just on Wednesday, but Sunday if we see you. Tuesday night as well at Richmond. You're everywhere here on the channel and winning a lot. So we'll look forward to talking to you again sometime next week.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. You have a good one.
You as well, partner. Get back on track and get that track record. Track record right now belongs to Ashton Crowder, and he is way up on everybody else, 2.5 seconds quicker than James Watson. Ashton Crowder may have this one on lock, but I'm saying this to the general audience right now. The phone lines are open. Get in the waiting for interview channel, and we'll get you up here in booth 200. That is around the turn here on turn 200's track record.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the divine dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
It's Rene Garcia and Nick Batista now as Roman and Deese have gotten together, and that is nearly a track blocker heading into the S's out of the skyline. Mathis and Deese, they are crisscrossing the track with the GT4 approaching. Garcia's stacked up. There is a line through, but Garcia going to give up the lead now to Matt Schlosser and Nick Batista.
Right direction.
Whoa!
Oh!
for Thompson, and Thompson pinches Garcia into the wall. Heggie lost it. He hit the barriers hard as well. The rear end kicked out from underneath of him, and Heggie is back to second. Gunter is through to the lead. These tires. Gunter is wide through Murray's corner, and there goes Heggie back to the lead.
Bonomi gets around as well. A very uncharacteristic mistake there for Brody Gunter.
Oh no! There he
Heggie!
goes! He hits the barrier. Gunter hits the barrier behind him as well, but here goes Bonomi for the top spot. Bonomi to the lead. We're back here to Wild West Motorsports Park. We got about 30 minutes left in the show. Appreciate everybody coming to hang out with us already. A good group. Ashton Crowder's in the chat, CJR Graphics, Goodleaf Archives, Brad Slagle, and Andrew Schulte. You'll see them in action in just a little bit here with Max V. Matt Williamson, good chat there with Hunter and Grav.
Yeah, that was fun. What an interesting character with that answer. He's I think he needs to become a stand-up comedian rather than working on the corner. But maybe he can do comedy on the corner as well. Who knows? But he wins so often that he has his own catchphrase here. We don't even, I feel like, really have catchphrases here on the broadcast other than your go party hard when somebody wins and you let them off of their interview. I would say that's the only real catchphrase we probably have here on a regular broadcast, not including Thunderdome. But he has won so often that "thank you very much, gentlemen" is a catchphrase in Turn 200 at this point. So I just think it's funny that he's won so often that we get to hear from him so often, and he's coined his own catchphrase here on our broadcast.
That, and I think Brody Gunter saying "yes, sir, definitely." That also sticks out to me. I think those are the only two off the top of my head, though. I'll mull on that, but that's a great point. I never thought about that. In the meantime, we've got some callers here piling into the phone lines. We're going to drag up TJ Crampton for the first time in a super-duper long time here. Welcome back to Booth 200, partner. What's on your mind?
Not much. It's good to be back, so returning for at least 3/4 of the Daredevil season, so that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, you've been busy with work, finding work. I know there was some talk of what Hunter and Grav was just talking about, and doing some exotic dancing. I think was a job you were gunning for at some point, and maybe that didn't work out. But what have you been up to? How's life treating you?
It's been pretty good. Just came back about a week ago from the Indy 500. Drove there from California, so 1,700 miles.
Yeah.
So the first part of the trip went smoothly, and then the race, we went to the last night at Circle City, IRP, which got rained out, and so we did it on Saturday instead. And then obviously the Indy 500 through all the rain delay and everything. Woke up at 4 in the morning, get in line, find a parking spot, and we were there for about, I want to say, a good over 12 hours. We were at the racetrack, so it was a long day, I will say that. In the second half of the trip, we blew a tire running over something on the interstate.
Oh God!
Just outside of Waterloo, Iowa. And it wasn't just us. Something just happened because 4 other cars hit the same thing we did. There was just a whole line of cars on the side of the road with flat tires. We called AAA. They didn't do shit. And so luckily, 2 nice Iowa State troopers came by and helped us change the tires. So that was pretty nice of them.
Maybe they spike stripped you. Do you have any warrants out?
Not that I know of, but you never know these days.
Well, it's good to hear from you. Good to hear things are going well, and we are very much looking forward to getting you back here for the Daredevil Series and for Truck 200 as well. Not too far around the turn here, as you are a winner with Truck 200. So we'll get you back up here in Booth 200 real soon. But it's good to hear from you.
It's good to hear from you guys too.
All right, here we go. It's the Booth 200 debut of our longtime viewer, first-time racer. Goodleaf Archives is hanging out with us. Welcome into the booth. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys doing?
We are excellent. I think doing a lot better now. It's great to finally get to talk to you after you've been so involved here with the channel really over the course of 2024, maybe a little bit before that. But Matt was trying to determine how many streams in a row that you've hit last night, and I don't know if we ever landed on a definitive answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of free time. My boyfriend works second shift, so I this time of day I just have all to myself.
Matt, what do you got here for our friend Miss Goodleaf?
Well, I would like to ask, why in the hell are you always wanting to watch us? Because if it was me, I don't even know if I would want to watch us.
Okay, do you want the honest answer, or do you want like an answer that like is just a nice story?
Maybe a little bit of both. Let's go with the story first, and then he can give us the real juice.
Okay. The story is, Scarlett showed me sim racing. I just really enjoyed it because it looked really fun, and I tried it out on controller, and it went from there. That's the official story.
Well, you're sponsoring a race here with the Daredevil series coming up. You are sponsoring. I don't think we've announced this anywhere.
2 races actually, yeah.
Oh yeah. So you've got Indy for sure. What's the other one? It's slipping my mind.
It's the Formula Super Series race. I can't tell you what track it is. I'm under obligation not to. But I sponsored one for that, so that we'll have the Goodleaf VHS rental Grand Prix of unknown track.
And it's what did we decide? Nice round number. It was it 150 or 180 for 150 for the Goodleaf VHS rentals. You do a lot of cool stuff in your community as well with all the, I guess, I don't want to say antiquated because it's stuff that I use too, especially the records. I don't know, outdated. I don't know what the correct nomenclature is there.
I just call it retro.
A lot of the retro. Thank you. That's
but with Trez, I joke that VHS is the superior format. He refuses to believe.
Fair enough. Well, your first on-track soiree here on Turn 200. How are we feeling about? This is a bonkers car track combo.
Yeah, I feel like you're trying to destroy my truck, and but I'm not the slowest truck either. So I'm pretty good. I'm not the slowest, but and it's fun to get beat up sometimes.
Well, onward and upward from here. It's great to hear from you. And appreciate you always hanging out with us. It always brings a smile on my face to see you in the chat. So we'll
big fan.
Thanks. So we will we'll do this again soon. Great to hear from you. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, have fun.
How about that?
Yeah, great to hear from Miss Goodleaf Archives in the chat. And we've got no stranger to Booth 200, but it has been a hot minute since we have had the current P1 driver. And safe to say, I don't think you're going to be taken off the top step anytime soon. Ashton Crowder is back in Booth 200, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Great to hear from you here. Great to see you out on track again.
Yeah, y'all too. I mean, definitely has been a while. The league that I was running, and they kicked me out. The races that I was winning are being won by their top guys, which that's just how that has to go. But it's nice to be back in here. I saw the ping earlier about I think it's 7 maybe, and I was like, what's this all about? And I saw it was Wild West, and I was like, I gotta get in there at some point. So taking a break from this Indiana Fever game, coming in.
You found something, obviously, because you're almost 3 seconds ahead of James Watson there in P2. I mean, can you give away any industry secrets here on what you found?
I don't really think it's a secret. It's just drive off. That's because it's it's open setup, so you gotta find your advantages where you can. And I came in here, took the Sonoma setup, and just thought about all I needed to do to get some drive off. But then I started to realize that the drive off was actually hurting me because I had too much of it and couldn't rotate. So I had to get some rotation in there, but still keep the drive off. So It's kind of throwing back to my 2018 Road to Pro days at Eldora. We led a lot of laps there and won. So it's honestly really close to an Eldora setup. So
Matt, what do you got for our buddy here, Ashton Crowder, back with us in the booth?
Well, he's already alluded to it, telling us he's taking a little break from the fever game. How does it feel to know that you've been on that Caitlin Clark train for a long, long time, and all of a sudden she is the mainstream basketball player?
You know, it feels really good to recognize talent. I remember, too. It was me, my girlfriend Ava, who's behind me. I swear, there's some people jumping rope. I swear we've seen them before in person. That's really funny. Okay, anyways, it's halftime now. That's really cool. But yeah, it was me, my girlfriend Ava, and my mom. We went to go see Iowa play Virginia Tech down in Charlotte, and my mom was telling me that a lot of her friends and stuff were like clowning on her, being like, "Oh, you spent $300 to watch some white girl," and she let them know. I've known about her since like day one at Iowa, pretty much, because of my like family being from there, and yeah, we've been watching her for a long time. Same thing with Haley Van Lith. I was watching her in high school. I think a lot of people were. Same thing with like Paige Beckers. Paige was pretty much like Caitlin before Caitlin. That was who was getting all the media attention. So yeah, it's pretty cool. She's obviously not dominating the league like a lot of the media was trying to say she would, which I think was an unfair expectation. But
Yeah,
I would say putting up 15 a game is pretty good. So professional league, it's not bad.
Yeah, she's balled out. That team is, I mean, obviously a team with a first-round draft pick is going to be pretty picked through at that point. So the fact that they're doing as well as they are, even with somebody like Caitlin Clark, I think it speaks to her ability to lead and to rally. Yeah, she's doing fine.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, kind of see the same thing with my men's league basketball games. I've got my own little team called Shooters Club, affectionately. But there's only 5 teams in the league because of how they put it together. Shout out Brian. And we're not the best team in the league, but we got a few good guys in there. One of them is the Virginia Tech athletic director's son. I think he put up 39 in our first game, and we still didn't win that, surprisingly. So the fact that she can come in there and make as much of an impact as she has, because their roster isn't that much different besides Caitlin. So the fact they can come in there and now they're actually like in serious contention to win, I'd say a decent amount of games. 40-game season, right?
I have no idea, to be honest.
I know it is shorter. I don't remember exactly how many games it is.
Yeah, I think it's around 40. So if they could win like 15, I would say 15, 20. I don't think they'll get 20, but probably 15, somewhere around there. I'd say that's successful.
Yeah.
I would consider it successful.
I would as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rookie season, and going to... I always go back to LeBron on the men's side. I mean, LeBron's rookie season, he only scored 20 points a game, which is, I think his lowest ever.
Only.
I mean, well, what I'm saying here is that it takes a while to kind of get used to the league. So, yeah, I mean, she's continued to get better. I think she's averaging over 16 now at this point. So, yeah, she's going to continue to get better, and I don't know. If the GOAT can only average 20 in his rookie season, then I think Caitlin's doing all right, too.
Yeah, I think people forget that about LeBron. That his rookie year. I know on their podcast, JJ Redick and his podcast, they were talking about it, but his teammates hated him. So go in there and do that, and I forget how many wins they had that year. Maybe it was like 36 or something.
It wasn't that many. It was not that many.
No, but they were like bottom of the barrel before he got there. So the fact that he could come in and make an immediate impact, I mean, that says a lot. But I know you guys are in the media game.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to have to trash on it a little bit. The media, man, depending on where you're looking at, gosh, they just love to ruin things, don't they?
I think we've ruined plenty of stuff in our day as well. So I think we're fair game to be lumped into that.
I think that's a fair assessment. Yes.
This is going to be funny coming right on the heels of that. But Turn 200 has just re-signed a lucrative deal with Crowder Genetti Racing with BC Lunar Tech. What is the team outlook coming up here for you and your exploits?
Exploits?
What word am I looking for? Endeavors.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, we can exploit some setups for sure. Well, the first round of Road to Pro was not the greatest, to be honest. I think there's a few things I could have done better, a few things that probably the team in general could have done better. So we more or less kind of sucked in terms of putting races together, but we were always pretty fast. It was really just kind of qualifying, and that's obviously my fault, but it was always qualifying that was kind of the issue. Which if you look at it like this, like in league races, every single time, I can set down a heater well, not every single time, but most cases I can set down a heater, get a pole lap, control the race from there. But when you're dealing with these like crazy 20-30 person teams that all have the same setup, if you mess your lap up a little bit, instead of you qualifying like, let's say 10th, you're qualifying like 25th or 30th, which happened to us a lot. So the fact that we had a few good runs, we almost won at Atlanta. That's a plate track, so I don't know how much you really consider that to be good. Then Darlington, we were really fast but had the wrong gear, and that was shaving off like 2 to 3 tenths a lap. We still ran the top 10 there, and I think we finished 13th because we got trapped a lap down when we pitted from the lead. Just crazy. I don't know how that happened still. It's a weird like glitch thing that happened. Yeah, so I think we should be able to do better in round 2, and it's obviously only 70 people that you're racing in, so only. So you have the same. Oh gosh, they're starting to set some fast laps, aren't they? I just looked at the board. Oh, that's scary. But oh no, maybe I'll get this, maybe I won't. We'll see. But yeah, it's only 70 people, and you're running against the same guys over and over again, so you can kind of get like I'd say maybe an easier overview of like where your speed is and what you're bad or good at. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping we do really well. I think for the first like C Open week with this new package, which if you guys want to ask me a question or two about that, I can answer it. I don't know how much you guys have dove into.
I feel like we needed to have you as a feature interview here sooner rather than later. Maybe we could save the truck talk for that. But yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up for you and working Road to Pro again, and working your way back up the ladder. I watched from afar, but it's pretty exciting stuff. We're happy that you're getting back after it and doing as well as you are.
I appreciate it, and everybody at Crowder Genetti Racing is really happy to have y'all on the truck because it's a beautiful truck. I don't know how much you guys have shown it on this broadcast, but yeah, it's got that purple and blue. Yeah. Nathan Palawota made that truck, and yeah, he's underrated as a painter, by the way. So
I agree.
Yeah, if anybody wants to, exploit him for some cheap paint schemes, go ahead and do that, because he's not going to charge you as much as he probably deserves.
Well, best of luck to you. I know we'll talk to you again here soon. We'll get you on here as a featured guest, and we'll talk trucks as much as you can, because this is we're really liking what the new trucks have, or what the new package is doing for the trucks here.
Yeah, trust me, I'm liking it too. Thank you guys for bringing me in here and wasting like 20 minutes.
Absolutely, partner. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Well, we've got a lot going on out on track. We've got 30 people, not in here right now, but 30 people that have registered at some point, and multiple drivers are getting ready to take their first lap. Rob Williams is here. Andy Poliski is here. Matt Schlosser has come and gone. Matt Burkhart has come and gone as well. Burkhart was awfully quick. And Josh Heggie, the ASRL Cup Series champion. We didn't mention that last night, I don't think. But he is second on the board. And, yeah, he closed in on Ashton Crowder, but Crowder still has that track record by quite some margin here. So we'll see here in the final 10 minutes or so what everybody can do with the timing charts. In the meantime, let's talk a little motorsports, Matt Williamson. We got a little bit of time to kill here before the end of the show. Some interesting stuff going on. Yeah, Iowa Speedway, if you don't know, I don't know how anybody wouldn't know at this point if you care at all. They decided to grip strip Iowa. They repaved the bottom half of the corners. That race is ruined right off the rip. That sucks so bad. I can't believe they did that.
Yeah, and so the really bad part is listening to the driver interviews. Basically, what was told to the drivers and the teams what was going to take place is not what ended up taking place. So they, not only did they do something terrible, they didn't really consult any of the teams or anybody else about it, and seemingly nobody's looking forward to it anymore, which is really unfortunate because when it was announced, tickets went really fast, I believe, and seems like there's a lot of excitement, but I fear for the product for sure, just as everybody else is at the moment.
Yeah, they did not tell anybody. There was no press release. Nobody found out until Goodyear got there for a tire test. I'm sure NASCAR knew, but it was not made public whatsoever. And that should tell you everything that you need to know. There's no confidence that this is going to be a good race at Iowa. I would love to be wrong. I don't see how I'm going to be wrong, though. So I guess get ready for some short track racing this weekend at the now ruined track. So, yeah, Iowa this weekend. Of course, I'm in the sprint car world. Got some interesting sprint car stuff going on. Saturday night at Knoxville could be the biggest car count of the season. Johnny Gibson today said 70-plus is possible, but mid-60s is likely. Still the second highest car count of the year at Jacksonville Speedway. Just want to point that out.
That's
56.
So crazy.
That is insane. I can't believe we got that. But big field of sprint cars. Sending the best to Angelique Bell. If anybody didn't see that, don't watch it. She got trapped in a sprint car last night running in Southern Oregon Speedway, and that car caught on fire. She is in the hospital with some pretty severe burns, it sounds like. So I'm sending all the best to Angelique. And, safety discussion being had across the dirt track racing world today, and as there should be. That's pretty scary stuff. And something you and I can riff on here, as I'll leave the sprint car world and come back to the regular world of racing.
I mean,
NASCAR on
racing
Fox.
is racing, first of all. But okay.
Well, yeah, I see what you mean. But NASCAR on Fox is over, thankfully. It's back on NBC. But 2 seasons of mediocre at best, offensive at worst broadcasting is rewarded with Fox getting the IndyCar contract for 2025.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. I don't remember where this was because depending on the platform will tell you a lot of different things of what you read. But I read somebody that was wondering if the IndyCar on Fox broadcasting will be much better than NASCAR because Fox just really doesn't care about NASCAR anymore, or if they just can't really broadcast motorsports that well in general anymore. That was kind of the question that they posed, and I doubt that they want to make or that they don't care about NASCAR. I don't really want to say that because the people that are working on the production, I feel like they do very much, but it has certainly been mediocre. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I'm very surprised that contract got. Obviously money has a lot to do with it, I'm sure, but seemed like NBC had a really good relationship with IndyCar, and really enjoyed the broadcasts that I watch. I don't watch IndyCar every week like I do NASCAR, but it was a surprise. But I don't know. Maybe we will be pleasantly surprised. Next year, maybe. Hopefully, that's what we're hoping, right?
Yeah, I agree. My only thought is that it does sound like, the people that work week in and week out, I think, on the production crew want the best for the broadcast, but they're sort of hampered from decisions from higher up that are questionable. That's the impression that I get, at least. A lot of people saying, and it's hard to disagree without knowing the specifics, but that's if Fox didn't have the Daytona 500, they would not want a NASCAR contract. And knowing that, as much as I love and respect the Daytona 500, the Indy 500 is twice the race that is, if not more. Hard to not feel that same feeling of, we want the Indy 500 and we'll get the other 18 races with it as well. Hard to not feel that with IndyCar going to Fox next year. But like you said, maybe they're going to go all out. Maybe this is going to be great. The one person I'm really happy for is Nate Siefker, because he has the Twitter handle of IndyCar on Fox. So he's going to get a payday. So good for him.
You know, I mean, maybe. I have seen those not necessarily get paid money for situations like that happening. So I hope that would happen, but it doesn't always. So.
We're rooting for Nate to get that bag. Well, we got 3 minutes here. Matt, what else in the wild world of motorsports is on your mind in the closing stretch of the evening?
Well, I mean, you kind of peaked it. I mean, you started talking about broadcasting. The NASCAR on NBC is going to look a lot different this year as well. We've never really talked about that, and after all the announcements got finished up, I feel like it hasn't really been talked about that much at all since NBC broadcasting. This year has just flown by. It seemed like it was a long ways away, but boy, is it upon us. So it's a much different looking booth for NBC this year. In fact, it's completely different.
Way different. Lee Diffie stepping in at some point. Rick Allen will start the season. At one point, they had Brad Doherty slated to be in the booth. I think they've since taken him out. Kyle Petty's no longer with NBC. Jimmy Johnson is getting in there a little bit. Yeah. So interesting cast of characters for NBC's NASCAR coverage this season. And no Dale Jr. as well. I don't want to say this is I guess in terms of broadcast, because that's what I like, obviously, as somebody that's aspiring to climb the ladder in the industry, and segments like this won't help my case any. But I mean, this is sort of a lame duck year for broadcasting. Next season is going to be very interesting. IndyCar on Fox, of course, but then Fox's shortened schedule, TNT and Amazon coming in next season before NBC takes back over. The summer series with a mid-season tournament for NASCAR. A lot of interesting stuff for the higher-ups of NASCAR, and as well the looming charter deal, which may or may not go through. A lot of interesting stuff off the track. On the track, there is stuff happening as well, but not as much.
We're in for a wild time. I think you mentioned the charter agreement. That is going to be that feels like it's going to be a war. They kind of had a battle before this year. I feel like that is going to turn into an all-out war by the time 2025 rolls around. So that will certainly be something to watch. But we are just about out of time here, Tommy.
Yes, we are, and I don't think we've taken a lap around, so why don't we find somebody that's about to start a lap? Maybe Rob Williams, if he's going to get going here. Let's ride with the 19, our Team 200 driver on Tuesday nights with the Venom Truck Series, and show you a lap around Wild West Motorsports Park as we're coming to the checkered flag. Oh, we're not going to get that lap, are we?
Probably not going to get that one.
Front clip of the truck is off. Maybe.
Might keep going here.
This is only turn 2. Only 4 turns here, which is weird.
Oh boy.
The checkers are out, but it is open qualifying, so everybody can.
He just started his lap here. I think he'll be able to go one more.
All right. Polisky needs a whopper. He is. I can't even find him. Is his number taken? Oh, he's 29 in here. He's 5th.
Here.
Still needs a whopper. The Turn 200 track record, the very first one right now, belongs to Ashton Crowder. He said drive off was the key, and as somebody that turned a couple laps before we went live, I would agree.
Ooh, Jared Murphy just jumped to 4th from pretty far down the leaderboard. Police Ski's not going to make it happen this time.
Well, he found the tabletop there. He might get an off track for that, which is funny.
Since it's all just dirt.
Yeah, it's all just dirt anyway. It's all off track. That's the point. Yeah, across the line, no lap for Andy Poliski. So that is it. These drivers will line up for a 30-minute race, which, oddly enough, we're not going to broadcast because the session is open for Max V in the CNC Home Designs Truck Series. So that is where we're going to leave this off. Anybody that hasn't already, come join the Discord and give us some feedback on today's show, the format, some improvements that you have, some suggestions. We are receptive to all of it. Matt's got some ideas that he wants to do here in the near future. This was kind of my brainchild. Matt Schlosser also came up with part of it. And, yeah, we'll take anything we can get. But I'd say for episode 1, it seems like it went pretty well. Matt's, anything else to close up here before we start to transition over?
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. A lot of people in the chat were in the session. A lot of people watching here as well. So thank you guys for watching. And for those of you that see this, that are participating, thanks for participating in the first one. Hopefully you had fun. This should be a fun little thing to do going forward. And if you have any suggestions for segments or anything that you think would be fun to do, obviously we're trying to make this a community event with it being alongside a qualifying session. Anything you feel like might be of use, a fun segment or something, let us know in the Discord.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Ashton Crowder on taking the first Turn 200 track record, the NASCAR trucks, here at Wild West Motorsports Park. Join us again here in just about half an hour's time, or a little bit over that, as we head over for Iowa Speedway, the halfway race of the season for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Have a good Thursday night, everybody, from Matt Williamson and Tommy Cook. Saying so long, and we'll see you again here very soon with the Turn 200 track record. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.